treaties of peace and friendship signed with the British Crown in 1725. These lands were not surrendered. The treaties established rules for the ongoing relationship between nations. Prior to commencing, I would just like to ask everyone if you wouldn't mind turning your phones to silent or vibrate so that we don't have any interruptions during the ceremony. With that said, I would like to call upon Felicity Monteith, the 2017 Salutatorian and Grad Class Vice President, to come forward to bring salutations on behalf of the graduates. Hi.
Good morning, fellow graduates, teachers, family members, and guests. When I was in the process of writing this speech, I was really back and forth because I had absolutely no idea what to write. I finally started to figure it out when I found this quote online. As you start your journey, the first thing you should do is throw away that store-bought map and begin to draw your own. Michael Dell. Wherever we end up at the end of the summer, whether it be university, college, or straight to the workforce, I hope that each and every one of us follows our dreams, creates memories, and achieves happiness. The future is in our hands, so we can make the best of it, enjoy the experience, starting with this graduation. I salute the class of 2017 for their determination and effort that we have all put forth to ultimately receive our diplomas today. Thank you to our parents and teachers for constant support and sacrifice to help us achieve this goal. Thank you to everybody here for coming this morning to celebrate this early major milestone in our lives. And finally, thank you for allowing me to open the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicity. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests. My name is May Cameron, and I will serve as your MC for this morning's ceremonies. I would first like to call upon Lynn Orser, Anglophone North School District Director of Education Support Services, to bring welcoming remarks to the graduates. Ms. Orser?
Mr. O'Toole, faculty of Sugarloaf Senior High, proud parents, guardians, invited guests, and graduates. It is an honor to be here on behalf of Anglophone School District North to bring greetings and congratulations to the graduates of 2017. Graduates, celebrate this landmark achievement. Today, you receive your high school diploma. Well done. You will hear many words of encouragement today, and most messages will speak to you on how to achieve success in the next part of your lives. And tomorrow, you take up the reins of starting a new journey, planning ahead, thinking about your next goals. It is great to plan for your future and look forward. John Lennon put my first message across very simply when he said, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Be mindful to live fully in the here and now." There is no big ticket you can earn for the success train. Every moment you work hard and strive to learn something new today, you are building a better future, a stronger foundation for what lies ahead. You know that. But if you get caught up in only valuing those large achievements and landmark goals of the future, you will become easily disheartened with inevitable setbacks, and you lose the value of appreciating all the gains you make each day. The best way to think about it is that it is only possible to live happily ever after on a day-to-day basis. Add to this recipe a belief in yourself. When I was a young girl, I learned an important life lesson from my father when I overheard him speaking to my mother on the eve of Election Day for his first campaign. I heard him say, "I'm prepared to lose." I didn't understand the power behind those words then. He had worked long and hard, but didn't win that first big landmark goal. He lost his first election. And I said to him after, "You must be glad to have that business behind you." 45 years later, I can still recall verbatim what he answered. "I've learned enough so that I can win the next time, and I will." He won his next election, and the one after that, and the one after that, and ended up sitting almost 30 years in the New Brunswick legislature. Each and every one of you graduating here today have unique talents and abilities, natural attributes that you were born with. You can achieve much more than you know. You don't necessarily have to have the highest grades or lots of money, but you do need grit and determination to be prepared to lose and push through failure to the other side of your fears to find the place where you were meant to be. You might fail many times over to get to that one small success. If you can recognize and celebrate those small successes you experience along the way, something magic happens. Your belief in yourself will grow stronger, and you will build that confidence to dream big and to do things that you think you're not ready to do. This second point that I make is not just speculation. We have research on this. A study out of the University of California, Berkeley, which undertook a 40-year project to investigate resilience in children, found that having a strong belief in their ability to solve problems helped young people succeed. I'd like to leave you with the words of Chris Hadfield from his book, An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth. And he says, "I knew with absolute clarity I wanted to be an astronaut. I also knew, as did every other kid in Canada, that only applications from US citizens were accepted, and Canada didn't even have a space agency. Chris still believed he could do it somehow. And he became our first Canadian commander of the International Space Station in 2013. His way of thinking pretty much describes my message when he says, if you start thinking that only your biggest and shiniest moments count, you're setting yourself up to feel like a failure most of the time. Personally, I'd rather feel happy most of the time. So to me, everything counts. The small moments, the medium ones, the successes that make the paper, and also the ones that nobody knows but me. The challenge is avoiding being derailed by the big shiny moments that can turn other people's heads. You have to figure out for yourself how to enjoy and celebrate them all, and then move on. So graduates, every morning, whether it be rain or shine, you've been gifted with a brand new day of moments to be enjoyed and spent wisely. Anglophone North wishes you success in all of those new moments, big or small, good times or bad, and a life that has love and is productive and has visions and dreams, a life that gives back where you know that you have reached that place where you were meant to be. Get out there and go for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Orser. Michael Mortlock, the chairman of the District Education Council, will now address the graduating class. Mr. Mortlock.
distinguished guests, educational staff, parents, family members, and most importantly, graduates of Sugarloaf Senior High Class of 2013. It is truly an honor to bring greetings on behalf of the District Education Council of Anglophone North School District on this very important occasion. A real milestone in our lives of the graduates sitting before us. Graduates, you have spent the last few years with some of the staff from Anglophone North School District. The teachers, educational assistants, bus drivers, custodians, administrative assistants have all played a role in the person that you have become. As you move forward into what promises to be an exciting future, I hope you will take lessons that you have learned over the last 13 years or so and use them to guide you. I hope you will look forward with clear eyes, a full heart, a sense of curiosity, and enthusiasm that will ignite your actions. Use good judgment in all situations. Unleash upon the world your gift of kindness, patience, and fair play. Be grateful and use your gratitude to turn what you have into enough. Treat others better than you sometimes feel you are being treated, not because they are nice, but because you are. Make meaningful connections with people. Put down your phone, look up, raise your hand, speak, ask, and listen. We really need you to make this world a more compassionate and peaceful place that it had become, and only you can do that by being present. After tonight, only you will have the power to say where your story goes from here. Write your own ending, one that you can be proud of. Don't let someone else hold your pen. Make sure your story is one worth reading. Sugarloaf Senior High Class of 2017, take pride in how far you have come, have faith in how far you can go. The world is waiting. Go and get it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mortlock. We have in attendance today a number of local dignitaries whom we would like to recognize. We have with us Chief Darcy Gray, we have Mayor Stephanie Engelhardt, City of Camden. We have Mayor Randy Hunter, the Village of Tyhead. We welcome you and thank you for joining us this morning. I will now call upon our grad class Vice President, Megan Canty, to introduce our guest speaker.
Darcy Gray was born and raised in Listigush. He's a father, a husband, a brother, a son, cousin, friend, and has a couple of dogs for good measure, and known to enjoy a good laugh now and then. Darcy was elected Chief of Listigush in June of 2016. Prior to that, he worked at Sugarloaf Senior High for 7 years under the Enhanced First Nations Education Program, working in the areas of guidance and transition, providing support for the students of SSHS. Darcy has also taught in the university courses in Community Studies and Psychology for Cape Breton University. His work and commitment to helping others has led many opportunities, including working with Indigenous youth across Canada, representing Listigush at various events, and coaching basketball at the Alexidao Gitbu School, SHS, and at the North American Indigenous Games. He's also what you might call a lifelong student. Darcy attended Sugarloaf Senior High School, graduating in 1994. He has also completed a diploma in youth care, Bachelor of Arts in Community Studies, Master of Arts in Counseling Psychology, and most recently, a graduate diploma in Indigenous Policy and Administration, none of which would have been possible without the support and understanding of his family, especially those last 3.
Thank you. Walaliak Miss Cameron, Dondel Miguadun, Migamagi, Amudiak. Waldazi Dondeli Aim Giskuk. Walasuk and Kamlamun. Thank you, Miss Cameron, for recognizing the territory of Mi'kma'ki. I feel honored to be here today, and my heart feels good. Elders, students, parents, dignitaries, colleagues, family and friends, most importantly graduates, being asked here to speak here today, there's so much that I could share. It's hard to cut it down. But let me frame out for you how I've related to what I'm about to share. Being chief for just a year now, I think we can relate to one another. I've realized I've lived a little, but there are more challenges ahead than behind. Yet I'm still naive enough to think I can make a difference and have enough youthful energy to try. To do that though, you have to have some tools to work with. Tools are what today you might call life hacks that you can actually use. My hope is today that I will share with you 7 to be exact. Items that you can put in your proverbial toolbox, or if you're like Mr. O'Toole, your Indiana Jones style knapsack or a satchel. You must have seen him carrying that around the school, right? The first and most important, and if you get bored and tune me out after a while, just stick with me for the next 10 to 20 seconds, please. Okay? I have to tell you, your happiness is important. If I could paraphrase from Mr. Sear, one of his many sayings, life can have more ups and downs than a toilet seat. If something or someone is messing with your happiness, you need to change something. Not talking about anything major here. It could be as simple as changing the way you put the toilet paper roll on the roller in the bathroom. I know some of you have tried it at home, and I know parents, sorry for the chaos that might have created. But believe me though, there was method to the madness. If you can make those little changes in your life, they can spark larger ripples towards happier days. Your happiness is worth the effort. Have fun and be happy. You can tune me out from here on out if you want, it's up to you. The other thing is, inspiration is everywhere around you. It can come from books, or in a movie like Van Wilder telling you that worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Or the lyrics of a song, my favorite songs being from Blind Melon, to tell you keep on dreaming boy, or all that I need is the air that I breathe, or that life ain't so poopy. On the flip side though, don't look to hip hop or rap. Those values that they talk about aren't healthy. They are very degrading to women, and our women deserve much better. Inspiration also comes from the people around us. Like one of my colleagues celebrating their daughter's graduation today, who continually provides me with teachings today that I only realize I need tomorrow. Or it's the parents of a student stopping by your house unexpectedly during the holidays to thank you for the efforts with their daughter. It's hearing a recent grad say, I wish somebody would have told me how much work it is after graduation. Realizing that you have to work for everything you earn. The work doesn't stop just because you finished high school. I want you to be open to those moments, find your own sources of inspiration, and keep good people close to you. Oh, here's a quick one. If you don't like matching up socks, buy as many as you can of the same kind. It saves a lot of time since they're basically all pairs. That's a good one. The other one speaks to something Ms. Orsford shared. It's about resilience. Build it. You've demonstrated it by getting to this stage today. Resilience is one of the key reasons, or few reasons, for us as Indigenous people to recognize Canada's 150th birthday in a few days. As Mi'kmaq people, we would be celebrating year 10,000 or so if the last 400 to 500 weren't so damaging to our nation. Yet we remain here, as do our teachings, our language, our values, and our sense of connection to Mother Earth, despite the dark genocidal history and policy on which Canada has been built. We're still here, and we owe that to our elders and our ancestors. And that canyon, I think we should clap for. They kept going no matter what. They did, and you can too. Let their strength and resilience inspire you. And I don't do this to create ill feelings or point fingers. I say it to bring about awareness and educate, which hopefully gets you to start asking, how do we do different, and how can we do better? Which brings me to the next idea, lifelong learning. We're on number 5, by the way, if you haven't been keeping count. Sina kina masukti. Keep learning. Don't stop just because you're graduating today. Continue to acquire new teachings and new information. Teachings, just like the inspirations, are all around you. Watch, listen, participate, ask questions, and think. Use them to help guide you and to make the best choices that you can today. If it leads to mistakes, so be it. Learn from them and adapt. That's the ideology of lifelong learning. Keep trying and improving. Lifelong learning is the key to reconciliation. And after hearing David Suzuki speak last night, it's the key to the changes we need to make regarding protecting our air and our water. We cannot continue down the same path. Finally, and I imagine you've been waiting for this, items 6 and 7 are going to be packed up together. They are first impressions and last impressions, and pushing beyond your comfort zone. People remember most their first impression of you and the last impression of you. When you entered school in grade 9, I was there, and Mr. Hunter might have been there for some of you as well, to help shape your first impression of Sugarloaf Senior High. We told you that we were all about success at SSHS, and look at you today. Thanks for keeping that success going. I'm proud of all of you. Waluguriok. Job well done. Now, before I wrap up, if you remember back to your first day, I also pushed you outside of your comfort zone. And we played a game called Simon Says. You guys remember that? Well, I'd like to try that again today, but this time with the audience. So, how it works, right? When you were welcomed in, I said we would play by high school rules. Now you gotta play by adult rules. Okay, so we're gonna start here. Starting now, and I'll be Simon Says, of course. And at that time we said, if you even flinched, you would be out of the game. And I had you guys practice your flinch. And we played the game, and some of you that have been part of Link Crew, you'd probably remember this and do quite well. That's why you're like hacks on your own. We can't get you playing. We gotta give these noobs a try. So what I'd like to do, if any of you would like to play, it's voluntarily, please stand up. That's good. We have some people that are taking this challenge on. That's great. I like that. I really do. Now, all of you that stood up, you're already out. I didn't say Simon Says. The other thing that but you know what? Let's celebrate them. Let's give them a hand. They tried. They stepped out of their comfort zone. That's amazing. Good job. Now, all of you that clapped, you're out too. My last part here, last impression. Always leave on a high note. Thank you. Walaliok danjal del jikshuluyok. Enjoy your day.
I'd like to thank Chief Darcy Gray for taking time out of his busy schedule to come see us.
for that Simon Says game. I was out on the clapping, by the way. It's now time for the presentation of diplomas to the graduates by Principal Michael O'Toole. Introducing the graduates will be Vice Principal James Ryan. Mr. O'Toole and Mr. Ryan will also be awarding the prizes, scholarships, and bursaries after the presentation of the diplomas.
When they see that movie, they're gonna go, oh,
Our first graduate for our 2017 graduating class, Kristen Atlas. Alexandre Allard. Audrey Arsenault. Kenyon Barnaby Morrison. Nicholas Barnaby. Sage Bernard. Jesse Buchholder. Caitlin Woodruff. Janice Woodruff. Megan Canty. Megan Carrier. Tyler Carrier Rothwell. Paige Claridge. Wilford Condon. Mackenzie Cooley. Chase Croswell. Indy Lee Croswell. Nolan Croswell. Danielle Dedan. Austin Dobson Delaney. Joshua Doucette. Samuel Ferrer Cranton. Patrick Frazier. Nathan Gagnon. Adam Gary. Madison Gray.
Miss Claudia.
Cassandra Grenier Demo. Tanisha Hewitt.